Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I wanted to speak about healing the wounds of comparison and jealousy, which often show up as the core wounds that the divine feminine has. So, very often we see that the divine masculines enter into karmic relationships, almost all of them do, despite our best efforts and despite our opposition to it, and how much we don't really want something like that. We could be in perfect communication, but we often see that the divine masculine, when they ghost us, then they enter into these relationships, and we end up comparing ourselves to these people. Right, we end up thinking, okay, these women, or this one particular karmic partner, so often it can be that the divine masculine has multiple women he's speaking to that you can make out from social media. Or you can just specifically understand or identify, their karmic partner, or if they have a spouse or anything like that. And you start comparing yourself and thinking, I'm not good enough. When I compare myself to that woman, somehow maybe she's smarter than me. Yes, my DM and I had an, amazing connection intellectually and maybe physically, emotionally, but I maybe think that he has a better connection there spiritually and intellectually than he does with me. These kinds of thoughts will start coming to your mind. And then you start looking at the woman and thinking, yeah, I'm not like, I'm probably too fat, or I'm not as good looking. My hair is not like that. I'm not doing this professionally. Professionally, look what has happened to me. My career has, not been so satisfying for me, or I am now trying to do something of my own, which is a struggle. I don't have anything to show for. You can just absolutely go into a spiral of negative thoughts, trying to make sense as to why your divine masculine chose this other person and why not you, when everything was going wonderfully, and you know in your heart that you're twin souls, that you are the same soul, reflected in two bodies. So why this betrayal, why this wound? It can be so disheartening for the divine feminine, and this then really coaxes you to change this narrative and story and try to see two things within you. Okay, the first thing is whether there are past wounds within you of betrayal and comparison. So how that can be is that, in your past relationships, have your ex-boyfriends or ex-spouses or friends also, have they in at any point in time preferred other people over you? And this can be something so small as when you were a child, maybe your best friend, left you and became best friends with someone else. But as a child you didn't know how to process it, so the way you processed it was that you are not good enough, that others are probably more preferable, than you. It can be something so innocuous, but it has formed that deep imprint within you, which is called a karma. And that deep imprint is what is showing up, in your life. The reason it's showing up is because it begs to be healed. There's no other reason. Now, the second thing, that you have to look at is that start to see where you are judging yourself. Why do you think that you're not good enough? Why do you feel the need to compare yourself? You can also trace it back to childhood, when maybe your mother or your father compared you to others. Maybe they did not always, treat you as you were extraordinarily special, and that led you to feel that you're not special, that you don't deserve love. I mean, this is a wound that, I have had on this journey, which was like it was mirrored back to me. And, through dreams, etc., I figured out that in my childhood, I was always given the last preference. Somehow I was just seen as somebody who could handle, really like being treated as not very important, and being like given the last, share of things, or not really the first, in the list, to be treated nicely, or to be treated in a respectful or a loving manner. So I grew up thinking that, okay, I maybe deserve to, not be treated in that way. And the fact that I've had to go through troubles and, hardships because of being treated last, in the sense that, maybe, what I was offered was so little that I had to make do with it, that I had to try and improvise various ways to make that little bit work for me, or even have help from strangers. This was the theme of my childhood, and because of that, I grew up thinking that I'm becoming very strong and independent because I'm not given anything, by my family the way I needed to be. And that is making me very powerful and all of that. But really, it's just a wound, as a lot of you would know that this tends to be a wound when you think you're very independent, that you can handle any problem. It also puts you in very unhealed masculine energy within you, and you start to ignore, your natural feminine energy within you, which is what this journey wants you to heal. Okay, so this is another way, you should start looking at the stories that, you started to believe as a child and you continue to believe well into your adulthood about not deserving that love, attention, etc. Okay. And where were you being compared to? Did your friends compare you, not just your parents, but also did like your exes compare you? Did they put you in third party situations, like I said in the first one as well? Or were there any other conversations of comparison? So once you start to heal these comparisons and you start to release them from your system, it will make a big shift in your journey. So basically your activity is to look at, where you have been devaluing yourself, because remember that your divine masculine is mirroring to you the wounds that you carry. The wounds may have seemingly been afflicted on other people, by other people onto you, but you have carried them within you. And you know that in this journey, you have to take radical responsibility for everything. Only when you take responsibility for everything, that has happened to you, that is happening to you, that will happen to you, do you, come into an energy of full awakening. Do you then, become a magnet for union, because only then do you believe that you can manifest union, because you believe that everything that has happened to you has been your manifestation. So you take responsibility for it and you start working on releasing this. You can do guided meditations to release these specific instances. You can do, an internal dialogue with yourself, with your inner child, or just with your ego self, and resolve this issue. You can journal it out to understand it more. Okay. And you can also just, sometimes the dreams only will release it, because the divine, himself has such a beautiful plan of purging, all of these emotions from you. And I would advise that if dreams and, various triggers, and especially if your divine masculine is triggering this back to you, etc., then you take it in your stride and you start to specifically do this kind of inner work of journaling, guided meditations, and this internal dialogue, etc., because this will quicken the purge. Otherwise you purge 30% of it now and then 30% of it 6 months later. There's no point in delaying it, when everything has been indicating to you that you need to heal this comparison, jealousy, etc. Another thing, that this can indicate to you is that, are you choosing yourself? Because sometimes we feel like my divine masculine chooses other people. Then you have to ask yourself, are you choosing yourself, or are you choosing your divine masculine? Sometimes we separate the energy of the divine masculine as another human being, and we start to think that only if he does these things to me, only if he comes back, will I then, come into a space of loving myself, will I then deserve every happiness in the world, etc. You don't choose yourself. Are you enough in yourself? Do you not deserve to do good things for you in the now? Like, right in this moment, can you give to yourself what you truly need? Maybe what your inner self needs, what your inner child needs, what your soul needs. Can you start listening to that? Can you start choosing yourself every moment? And sometimes choosing yourself can mean really separating, you taking the separation decision from your divine masculine if he's not showing up for you in a healed manner. You should be ready for that. There's no judgment there and there's no fear there, because you're the same soul, you're the same energy. You choose yourself and he feels compelled to choose you. So this is the way, in which the universe can show you, in the form of your divine masculine or in the form of other, incidents in your life, where you are comparing yourself, where you are, in the place of jealousy. One more interesting thing about jealousy, if I have to say, is that, I came across this in a workshop where, this woman said that when you are jealous of somebody, you want to be like them. And I found that to be very, very insightful. And I thought, when I'm jealous of someone, what is it in them that I want, to become like? Is there something that they do or they're like that I also want to do or become like? So if the answer is yes, maybe even I want, XYZ. If it's a karmic partner, maybe you think that, she's very fit. Do you want to have fitness in your body and in your mind? Do you have that fitness goal? You don't take it to win your DM back. It's for yourself. Maybe it's a repression within you that the karmic partner or someone else is showing to you. Anybody that you're jealous of. It needn't be a karmic partner. It can just be someone in your life, not in your DM's life also. Right? And secondly, if it's not like that, no, you don't want to be like them. No, you've already, been there, done that. Then it just comes to the first thing only, which is that you have to heal comparison only. You're just out of the comparison, you're feeling jealous. Okay, so when you're jealous, do these two things. Do you want to be like that person that you're jealous of? What in them is it, that you also want to imbibe in your life? Look at it positively and send them love and, heal that relationship of jealousy. The second thing is, if no, then why am I comparing myself to them? Do I not think that I'm good enough? Where can I do this healing work for myself? So, this is all I wanted to speak about today because this is such a core wound of the divine feminine on this journey. And this is what the divine masculine triggers, inside of you, because you have been comparing yourself since you were a little girl or little boy, as applies to you. Because obviously men are also in the divine feminine energy on this journey, right? So you have to heal this wound. Your divine masculine wants you to see yourself as, a goddess, as an empress, as a complete divine being that you are. You really deeply inspire him. You change his life just as much as he changes yours. And he is very conscious of the changes that you have brought up in him. He's conscious of the fears that, you evoke in him. It's not like he doesn't know that you're evoking fears. Even an unawakened divine masculine is aware at some level that he is running away from you because he is running away from the fears that you're triggering. And he sees you as this divine light, that is helping him, that is shining upon him, a great opportunity for him to right his wrongs, to become a better person. He knows it inside him. When he awakens, he will start to embody this knowing as well. Okay? So this is just a divine ploy. It's not that he doesn't love you, it's not that he rejects you. It's because he's mirroring to you that, hey, divine feminine, you are carrying all of these wounds within you. Why do you feel jealous? Why do you feel the need to compare yourself to anyone when you're perfect? Can you heal this? Can you go back to your past and remove this energy from, your karmic structure? And can you stay in the present moment, aware of, your light, aware of your divinity as well? So staying in the present moment is something that, I have been speaking about if you've been listening to my videos, and I will be speaking more and more about this because that's the most important, the single most important thing that you can do on this journey, guys. So this is all I wanted to speak about. If you want to get in touch with me to book a one-on-one session to understand the kind of healing work that you need to do, the inner work that specifically to, with regards to the stage of the journey that you're in, the kind of inner work that you need to do right at this moment, or if you're struggling, with a certain trauma, with a childhood issue, or anything else that you're struggling with right now, it can even be just your twin flame story, then book a one-on-one session with me. It doesn't cost a lot, and I'll be very happy to guide you. I also offer intuitive guidance, coupled with these one-on-one coaching sessions. So if you write to me, I'll give you all the details. Meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, stay very positive, stay very joyful, because that is your true nature, and journal out your feelings. That's an easy way if you're feeling overwhelmed on this journey. It's not an easy journey. We do have triggers, there is purging and all of that happening. So look after yourself, love yourself, give yourself the love that you expect from your divine masculine, is a small tip that I would leave you with. And I'll see you in the next podcast video. Bye bye.